Hello everyone. So for this week, we'll be doing the topic of binary trees and binary search trees. So this is mainly about the binary tree data structure and what are the important uh, operations you can do over that. So we'll talk about binary trees and binary search trees. Okay. So so you see this data structure binary tree is in contrast with the data structure like, so for example, the arrays or the linked lists. Okay, so arrays and linked lists, they generally capture, so they are more than a set. So set is the most basic thing, so where you have a set of elements, but arrays and linked list capture an order between the sets. They capture the order. But in the case of binary trees, what they will do, so binary trees, they capture some sort of hierarchy. So they capture hierarchy. And they are like very crucial in the term of data structures. So let's try to define like what is a binary tree. How do we formally define a binary tree? So one way you can define a binary tree, so you can define in terms of the set. So you have, so binary tree is a set of elements okay, so set of elements such that, so with one special symbol called root. Okay, so there has to be a root and all other elements can be partitioned into two sets. All other elements can be partitioned into two sets, and they can be potentially empty, possibly empty. So what are these two sets? So one is left, another is right, and both these are binary trees themselves. So it's a recursive definition. You have a binary tree, so a set of elements is a binary tree that has a special symbol called root, and all of the elements can be partitioned into two sets, left and right, and both these are binary trees themselves. Now let's take an example. How a binary tree looks like. So let me draw a binary tree. So these are the elements Z, C, G, F, D, A, and B. Okay, so these are, so you see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements are there. Now it's a binary tree, so that means we need to have a special symbol root. So you have a root for this tree. Z is the root of this tree, and all of the elements can be partitioned into two sets, left and right. So you see all of the elements you can see with respect to root. So this is the left subtree. So this is left subtree of root Z, and this is the right subtree of root Z. Okay, so you see, and each of these is a binary tree. So again, as per binary tree, you can see the left subtree, it can partition into as the root. So C will be the root here, and left subtree will be this DAB will be the left subtree, and right subtree is empty for this. Okay. Similarly for G is the root. Left subtree contains only one element F, and right subtree is empty. Fine. So this is an example of a binary. It's a binary. Now we can define root, left subtree, right subtree, and this can be defined recursively, but we can also talk about the child, left and right child. So for example, this C is actually the left child of Z, and G is the right child of Z. So we can make that. So C is the left child of root Z, and G is the right child of root Z. Okay, so we can talk about left and right child of any node. So for example, if I say for F, there is no left or right child. For G, there is a left child, that is F. So we can talk about this. Now we can also talk about some labels, like what is the label at which a node occurs in the tree. So starting from root, we can give the root label 0, and then we can assign a higher label. So this is label 1, this is label 2, and this is label 3. I will formally define how do you compute label of a node. So we will formally define. So you can given this picture, I can ask you various questions like, okay, so what is the parent of C? And you will say, okay, Z is the parent of C. And what is the left child of D? And you will say A is the answer. And you can even say, okay, what is the left child of B? You don't see left child, you will say no. So you can start answering questions like that. Now, very crucial thing is that this left-right distinction is very important. So for example, if I give you two trees, one where 10 has a left child 3, another where 10 has a right child 3, they are different binary trees. So they are different binary trees. So you see the set of element is the same. So the set is same, 3 and 10, but the binary trees are different. So this has to be very, very clear. So they are not the same binary trees. Now I talked about this label, like label 1, label 2, and so on. So how do we define the label? So you see, we just covered graphs for you, but in tree there is no cycle. There is no cycle in the tree. So since there is no cycle, and this is connected, this is connected. You can say in terms of graph, this is connected. So you can say that there is exactly one path from one node to any other node. So for example, from D to F, there is exactly one path. You go D to C to Z to G to F. Between B and C, there is one path. Okay, so you can see. So there is no cycle, and that implies there is exactly one path from any node to any other node. Okay, so now we know that, then we can define the label of a node with respect to the root. So I will say, okay, what is the label of, so I can say label of root node convention, let's say its convention is 0, and then label of any node, that will be the distance of the node from the root. Now how do you compute the distance of a node from the root? So distance is nothing but, so distance of a node from root is nothing but number of edges in the path from root to that node. Okay, so if we go back to the picture, so that means label of node D, this will be distance of D from root node Z, and what is the distance? Number of, so how did we define distance? Number of edges in the path from root to the node. So how many edges are there from Z to D? So say 1 edge and 2 edge. So that means the distance is 2, so its label is 2, and that's how you can compute label of n node. Okay. Now once we understand the distance, how do we compute distance of a node from root? We can define something called a very interesting and important property. What is the height of it? So what is the height? So we will say the height is, okay, so what is the maximum label of any node? And that becomes the height. So this is maximum label of any node in the tree, and that is a very simple way of determining the height. So we go back, so here what is the height? So I will say, okay, what is the maximum label? It's 3, so height is 3. So I can write here, so height is 3. Okay, and this is being defined with respect to the root chain. You can define height for any of the subtree also. You can define height for this subtree. What will be the height? Starting from this as the root, it has label 0, label 1, label 2, label 2. So the height of this subtree is 2. So you can say, okay, height of this subtree, left subtree is 2. Fine. So like that you can define the heights. Okay. Now we can do some other properties we can compute. For example, can I tell what are the maximum number of nodes at a label h? So what is the maximum number of nodes at label h? How many nodes can a label have? So that is very easy. So you start from the root. So you start from the root, and from the root you can have max of 2 nodes at label 1, and from each of these you can have another 2 nodes at label 2 each. So that means as you keep on going down at label h, so label 1, 2 at h. So you can see label 1 you have 2 to the power 1 nodes, 2 to the power 2. So label h you can have a maximum of 2 to the power h nodes. So this is 2 to the power h. Now once we know that, can I say this is the maximum number of nodes at label h, but what are the maximum number of nodes in a tree with height h? So if the tree has height h, what can you say about the maximum number of nodes? Again, maximum nodes means you need to have, of every node you will have to have the next label completely full up to h. So this will be the root node 2 to the power 0 plus 2 to the power 1 plus up to 2 to the power h, and we know the formula, that is this is 2 to the power h plus 1 minus 1. So that many nodes a tree can have at max if the tree is height h. Okay. Now can I use this? Can I use this to define uh, what is the minimum height? What is the minimum height of a tree with n nodes? So if a tree has n nodes, what is the minimum height? So we know that, okay, so if the height is, so suppose height is h, so we know the maximum height. So if we know given a height h, what are the maximum number of nodes it can have? Yes, so if a height h, that means max 2 to the power h plus 1 minus 1 nodes. Yes, now we are given that the tree has n nodes, so that means n has to be less than or equal to 2 to the power h plus 1 minus 1, because that is the maximum number of nodes a tree can have. So then I can put a bound on h. So I can say h is greater than or equal to log to the base 2 n plus 1 minus 1. Now which bound I can put? So h is greater than or equal to this, so I cannot put an O or theta, but I can say, so h is omega log a. So I can say h is omega log a. So very good. So we are saying that the height of a tree is lower bounded by log n. So if where n is the number of nodes, so it can never be better than log n. Fine, but what about the upper bound? So can I say that the height is order log n? Can I say that? And it turns out, yes, you cannot say that. So the answer is no. So what is the maximum possible height of a tree with n nodes? Okay, so you can see, you are always free to draw a tree where you only have the left children, no right child. So for example, I can have a tree in this form. So only left child for every node. So if there are n nodes, what is the height? Height is n minus 1. Okay, so that means height is order n, but it is also omega log. So this is very crucial, that height is not order log n, height is order n but omega log n. Now, so you see, in binary tree I can have a tree in this way, it's completely skewed towards left, right? So in terms of the structure of the final binary tree, there are certain definitions. So there is one definition, that is, what is a full binary tree? So full binary tree is a binary tree where every node has either 0 or 2 children. So it's a binary tree where all nodes have either 0 or 2 children. Okay. So there is no node with a single child. So let's say, so suppose I have these two trees. Okay, and versus this one. Now which one do you think is a full binary tree? So here you see each node has 2 children. So up to here is full, and here this has two children. So this is a full binary tree. But here this particular node has only 1 child. So that means this is not a full binary tree. So by the way, when I was talking about binary tree, I did not say one more thing about definition. So I did not talk about something called leaf node. Okay, so there is something called a leaf node. A leaf is something, a node is a leaf node if it does not have any children. Okay, so you can simply say a node with 0 children, that is a leaf node. Okay, so then you can immediately say, okay, which nodes are leaf nodes here? Z is not a leaf node, C is not a leaf node, G is not a leaf node. All of them has at least one child. Similarly, D is not a leaf node. But what about A? So A is a leaf node, yes, no child. B is a leaf node and F is a leaf node. So I have here, so this is a leaf node, this is a leaf node, and this is a leaf node. Sure, so you're talking about full binary trees. Similarly, we can talk about a complete binary tree. Of height h. So if I have a complete binary tree of height h, this needs to have how many nodes? Yes, 2 to the power h plus 1 minus 1 nodes. So a complete binary tree of height h needs to have all the possible nodes. So it will look completely full. Yes, you cannot find a gap. Yes, full. But what about this? So you can find a gap. So there is a gap. So this node could have come at the same height. So you can say yes, this is a complete binary tree. This is not a complete binary tree. Okay. Now along this line there is another concept. See, this gives a restriction on the number of nodes. You need to have 2 to the h plus 1 minus 1 nodes. But suppose your number of nodes are not of this form. Still, can you be close to a binary tree? So this concept is called almost or nearly complete binary tree. So what is the idea? So here you can say simply nodes are filled from top to bottom and left to right. So at any level, nodes will be filled from left to right. So there will be no gaps, with no gaps left. But it can happen that, so that also implies that at the last level, you may not have all the nodes. But whatever nodes are there, they are filled from left to right. So for example, if I draw a tree like this, okay, so what do you say? So nodes are filled from top to bottom. So this is full, this is full, this is not full. So but if it is not full, nodes should be filled from left to right. So this is fine, but you see there is a gap. Okay, so there is a gap. So that means this is not an almost complete binary tree. But for example, if I have a tree like this, is that almost complete? Yes, this is full, this is full, this is not full, but filled from left to right. Okay, this is full, and then these are empty. Fine. So this is an almost complete binary tree. Okay. So I hope this distinction is clear. Now, okay, so once I know about the terms and the structure and the definitions, now the next important thing you have to talk about any data structure is, okay, what are the operations you can do? So what are the operations on a binary tree? So the main application of a binary tree generally comes with special types. So generally the main application comes with special types of binary tree, and that's what we will study. So there you put some more restrictions on the structure. But on this plain binary tree, you can define the traversal operation. So here the main operation is traversal, and this is very important to understand. So what is traversal of a binary tree? So if you want to define traversal, this is nothing but, so traversal means you have to visit each node once. So in a given binary tree, you have to visit each node once. And now immediately the question is, okay, in what order? So then what should be the order? So actually, depending on the order, you define three types of traversal. So depending on the order, you define three types of traversal. So there is pre-order, there is in order, and there is post order. And these all orders you can remember in terms of where is the root, when do you visit the root. Okay, so whenever we talk about binary tree, we say, okay, three things: root, left subtree, right subtree. So in pre-order, you visit the root first. So you visit the root, then you visit the left subtree, and then you visit the right subtree. Okay, or maybe I should write in that way. So you do the root, then you do the left subtree, and then you do the right subtree. Okay. In order, you put root in the order. So that is, you first do the left subtree, then you do the root, and then you do the right subtree. And post order, root comes at the end. So you do the left subtree, then you do the right subtree, and then you do the root. Okay. So now let's take an example and try to understand this. So let's take a tree. So here is my tree. Okay, slightly more number of nodes so that you can easily understand the three traversals. So now let's try the three traversals. So let's first try pre-order. So remember, pre-order was root first, then the left, and then the right subtree. Okay. So now let's try. So I am starting from A. Yes, so I'm always start from the root node, so that is given to me. I have to visit each node, and let's say I have to print those. So I have to first print the root. So I'll print A, and then I'll go to the left subtree. Okay. So now I have to first complete left before I complete right. So in the left subtree, again I will recursively do the same thing. So for this left subtree, I'll do root, left, and right. So root is B, so I'll print B, then this is root, and what is the left? Left is D, and right is null. So again I'll go to the left, and I'll do the same thing. I'll print the root, that is D, then I will print the left, there is no left, and then I will print the right. So right, there is one node. So in this subtree there is only one node G, that is the root, and I will print G. Okay. So you see I have printed this whole subtree. So now in terms of the overall tree, I have printed the root, I have printed left. So root is gone, left is gone. Now I have to print the right. So now I go to the right subtree and do the same. So what is the first thing I'll print in this right subtree? The root. So I print C. Okay. Then what? Then I will go to the left. This subtree has only one node E. So this is root, left, right. So only E will be printed. Then I will go to the right subtree, F and H. So first I'll print the root and then the left. So F and H. And this is your pre-order traversal of this tree. So looks easy. Now let's go to in-order traversal. What is in order? So you have to do the left first, then root, and then right. So now let's try this. Okay. So let me try it here. So I have this tree. I have to go to the left first. So I can't print A like I did in the pre-order. Pre-order, the first thing I printed was A. So I have to go to the left subtree and print this. So what does it mean to go to left? I have to recursively do the same thing. In this left subtree, I have to go to left. Left means this whole subtree, root and right. Okay, so left and root. Now what happens in the left? In the left, I have to again do left, that is null, root and right. So that means I can print D and G for the left of B. So I print D and G. Okay, so I was here, I did the left now. Then I do the root and then the right. Right is null, so I only print the root after this, that is B. Okay. Now in terms of the overall, I have done the left completely. Now I do the root and go to right. So I'll go here, but before that I'll print A. So I print A, then I go to right. Now in the right, again left has only one root, so this will be printed E, then root C, and then here. So here you can again see, so E, C, in this you'll first go to left, H and then F. So you will say E, C, H and F. That is the in order. Okay, so yeah, it's slightly more, it takes some more time to think, because in pre-order you were always printing the root first, but here you don't print the root immediately. You go to the left, print that, and then print the root. Okay. Now similarly you have the post order. So in post order you do left, right and root. Okay. So let's try that. So here for cells 3 you have to do the left first. Okay, so in the left, recursively, in this subtree, left means this subtree, that is D and G. In this I have to do the left, null, right G and root D. Okay, so G and D. Fine. Now for this left subtree, I did the left, right, then I have to do the right, that is null, then the root, so then I'll put a B, GDB. And now I am done with the left. But I can't print A, I have to first go to right. So in the right, again I do left, right and root. In the left there is only one root, that will be printed, so E. In the right, there are now two nodes, so I will go left, right and root, so H and F. H and F. So now the left and right are done, I'll put the root C. So I'll put C. Am I done? So yeah, don't forget that overall tree had a root A. So you did the left, you did the right, now you put A. Okay, so you can see some interesting things. For example, you can always say this part. So root comes in, root is the first element in pre-order and root is the last element in the post order. That is given to you. Okay, and you can use that for solving some interesting problems involving traversals that you may see. Sure. Now, okay, so now this was the concept of traversal. Now, how do you actually do traversals? How do you actually write a code for that? And we will try to do some pseudocode. But before even going to the code for traversal, like how would you store a node? How would you store a node X? So what do you need? So suppose this is your node, or let's say this is your node. Okay. So what do you need? What information do you need about this node? So let's think. So you need about this node, what is the value? So you need, so for a node X, what do you need? So you need what is the key of X, that is data stored in X. So in this case that is C. Yes, so EGC. Now what else do you need? See, to traverse this tree you need to know, okay, give a note, what is the left, what is the pointer. So actually in terms of program you need a pointer, but we need information about the left child, we need information about the right child, and to go up you need information about the parent. Okay, so I need what is the left of x, that is the left child of x. In this case C's left child is C, E, and similarly you need the right x, the right child of x. So in this case this is F, and then you need the parent of x, that is the parent of, in this case that would be A. Okay, and except from the value, for all other cases, so all other cases you will need a pointer to reach. Okay, but here you will need the actual value. So, and yeah, it may happen that the node x does not even exist, so you will say is equal to nil if it doesn't exist. Otherwise you need all this. So now in terms of these, suppose I have this information, can I write what will be the pre-order? How will I do a pre-order? So in this traversal, suppose you are doing pre-order traversal, what will be the input? Input will be simply the pointer to the root node. So suppose x is the pointer to the root node. Now you have to do a pre-order traversal. Okay, so let's say I have to write a pseudocode for that. So what is pre-order traversal? Remind ourselves again. So you will do root, left, right. Okay, and what is left and right? This is again recursively you are calling pre-order. Okay, so that means you have to talk about the base condition. What will be the base condition? When you do not have to go to either left or right, or do not have to even visit it, that will be if x is nil. So you will say if x is nil, you simply return. You are out of this loop. So if your x is not nil, you are continuing. So you are first visiting the root. So you can simply say, okay, let's say visit x. Now visit is a generic function that you can do anything. For example, you can do things like you can print, you can do additions, you can do so many things. We will see some examples. So let's say I'm just calling it in general print x. Okay. Print x. Now, or I'm just calling it visit x. Now this is the root. Now what about the left and right? That is simply you call pre-order on the left and right subtree. So you will say pre-order left of x and pre-order right of x. Okay, so yeah, these three together, these three make the main tracks. And if you are using, for example, now suppose I say, okay, write a code for in order x, you will just change these orders. So you will say in order, you will say first pre-order. Oh, I'm sorry, you have to call in order. So yeah, you will first call in order over the left of x, then you will visit x, and then you will call in order over the right of x. Okay, so like that you can also write for post order. Now this is a very crucial operation for binary trees. Now what is the complexity for this? So what is the complexity? And you will see that all three will have the same complexity. It's only the order that is changing. So and what will be the complexity? See what you are doing. So for each node you are doing some constant number of operations. So for each node you are going left, you are going right and visiting that, nothing else. Okay, so you are doing constant number of operations on each node. So that means complexity is less than or equal to some Cn. So this is On. So complexity of traversal is order of n, number of nodes. So now suppose somebody say you are given a binary tree and solve this problem in On time, you may think about using traversal directly for solving those. Okay. So for example, I say very simple question, right? So what are we storing in the tree? So we are only storing some data in the left right pointer. But suppose you want to know what is the size of the tree, and by size I mean the number of nodes, that is number of nodes. So how will you know the number of nodes in the tree? And okay, yeah, in the array, yeah, it is very easy generally in the arrays, but in the case of tree, how will I know the number of nodes? So you can, okay, so first you think, so you are given a tree, some arbitrary tree, you have to count the number of nodes. So this you can see recursively. So I think in terms of root, left and right. So if I know the number of nodes in the left subtree, number of nodes in the right subtree, I can just add 1 to that. Yes. So 1 plus size of left plus size of right. Now how you can compute that using traversal? Can you compute that using traversal? Let's say you can use any traversal. Let's say I'm using in-order traversal. Okay, and I'm calling my function, say find size. Yes, and it has to return an integer. So I'll define a function int find size. And what is the input? Input is always the point to the root. X is the input. So in that function you have to first so you have to have a count. So you count initialize to 0. Okay, now base case, so it has to be a recursive function. If x is nil, you say return 0, size is 0, fine. Then you recursively count the size for the left and the right subtree. And how will you count recursively size of left subtree? You will call this function over the left of x, but you have to return the number. So let's say C1 is find size left of x. Similarly, C2 is find size right of x. Okay, now C1 and C2 gives you the two counts. Now what is your final answer? C1 plus C2 plus 1. So you return C1 plus C2 plus 1, and that is your function find size. Okay, you see just by following traversal. So I am actually following nothing but traversal. I did so yeah, I did a left widget, right widget, and added ones. You can think of it like widgeting in between. Okay, this is like in order, but you can think of it at doing it either pre-order, post-order. Actually, does not matter. So you think of it as like using traversal for solving a problem like finding size of the tree. Now similarly, now can you do some other problem, like suppose each node stores an integer value. So key of x is integer. Now your question is find the sum of the values of nodes. Can you do that? It's very easy. So you will again, you can say find sum. Count can be 0 in the beginning. Yes, it should be 0. If it is null, return 0. Find sum left x, find sum right x. Sum of these values plus you add the value. So return C1 plus C2 plus. So instead of 1, you will say the key of x. Okay, and that should work. Now similarly, suppose my question is count the elements that are less than or greater than a certain value. Say for example, how many elements in my tree are less than 10? So how many elements are less than 10? Suppose you have to do that. Again, you go back, you will say, okay, how many elements less than 10 in the left, how many elements less than 10 in the right, and is it less than 10 or not? So you can call recursively on both, and here you put a 1 if it is less than 10, otherwise you put a 0. So you may have a more efficient way of doing that in a specific binary tree architectures. Here you are saying we will do it in all these in order entry. Okay. Similarly, suppose I give you a problem. Count the number of leaf nodes. That is the nodes with number of children is equal to 0. You try that. Again, this is very, very easy. So how do you use traversal to count the number of leaf nodes? Fine. Now, okay, so this is quite interesting. We saw how to use traversal for solving certain problems. Now, let's see how do we represent a binary tree. So how do you represent a binary tree? So again, what do you need? I need the key. I need the key, left pointer, right pointer, and parent pointer. Okay, does that remind you of something? Where do you need a data and a pointer? So here you need 3 pointers, but where do you need a data and pointer? Yes, linked lists. So I can define it in a very similar way as I defined a linked list. So I will say, okay, so you can say type def struct node. Yes, it's a node. And what are the things you need inside? You first need the key. So you need int key, and then you need pointers. So struct node star left, star right, and pointer to parent. Okay, and you can give it a name like node. So this is all you need to define it. You need, it's like a linked list definition. You have integer key and struct node star left, right, and parent, 3 pointers, and that is all. And then you can just traverse via these pointers. So in linked list, you also saw linked list with 2 pointers, right? So similarly here you can think of it, yeah, it's a tree value and 2 pointers left and right. Additionally, you may also need the parent. And how do you, like in linked list, generally linked list you represent by a pointer to the head. So how do you represent a tree? So you represent a tree by the pointer to the root. By a pointer to the root. Because once you have the pointer to the root, you can traverse by following the pointers from there. Okay. So now, okay, how does it look like? Suppose I have this very simple tree, A, B, and C, 3 nodes. So what do you have? You will represent it by a pointer to the root. So now you can think of this structure as, yes, so I have A and I have 3 pointers. Okay, say left, so this is left, this is right, and this is parent. In this case, A's parent pointer is null, so I can put, okay. Now for giving the left and right pointer, I need to have the other 2 nodes. So let me put the other 2 nodes. So I have the value B and 3 pointers, and the value C and 3 pointers. Okay, now let's see respectively. So age left pointer will go to B, so this goes to B, and right pointer goes to C. Okay, now B's parent pointer goes back to A, and C's parent pointer also goes back to A. Yes, now B and C don't have any left and right child, so they all go to null. Okay, so yeah, so this is how you can think, and in general when you will solve the problems, so you can always say that the left and right pointers are always there. But sometimes you may be asked to solve a problem without a parent pointer, so parent may not be there. Okay, so this was about the binary tree part. So we saw the traversal, uh, we saw various definitions traversal, and how do you represent it. Now we will, as I said, so main interesting operations come with different interesting uh, architectures of binary tree. That means where you put certain, so various types of binary trees. So you put certain more restrictions to get special kinds of binary trees. And we will see one such binary tree in detail, and that is called binary search tree. Okay, and search is very interesting, and you see there is a prefix, it has a prefix of binary search. Okay, so it's a binary search tree. It's interesting. So that means can we do something like a binary search here? We will see. So this whole thing, binary search tree, is what we will see. So in short, we also call it BST, binary search tree. So let's see what is binary search tree and how do we use that.